Move back a little bit. Um, the reason why I'm sharing this video is because I just have to be honest. I find it really funny. People online, they don't know people and they think they know something and they don't. And I had a very interesting conversation with some red pill gentlemen last night, and they don't have exposure to things. They believe that books they find online, and they believe that, like, everything is a book you find online. Everything is some research or study somebody else did. They're not actually change agents, I guess I would say. They're not change agents. They're not out here actually putting the work in, They're not taking any real efforts or risk in the real world. And being active, like for real. And I was having a conversation with them, and they had this collective belief like women don't lead, women don't know how to handle stuff, women can't da da da. I find that I find that funny because I mean, I was just down at the Gold Dome the other day, the Georgia Capitol with my daughter, and it's just women all in that building. Women senators, women representatives, you know, in all kind of positions, on all kind of committees, women leading. And I just find that so strange. They don't know anybody. That's the problem. They don't have access, these men. They don't have access. They don't know enough. They're not out here doing anything. So they just don't know. And, if it didn't come from some online downloadable book that they read, or if it didn't come from some random website, you know, they just don't have any access. And I keep focusing on that all the time. Access is everything. Of course you think things don't exist. Of course you do, because you're not involved. That's why it's beyond you to see women who actually lead, because you're not ever involved in anything where leadership is happening. Of course, you're not going to see it because you're not leading in your community. You're not leading in your state and in your region. You're not leading anything. I would challenge those men to ask you, when is the last time you went to your state capital? When is the last time you supported some actual legislation or got a bill sponsored? I have a bill sponsored. I've had a bill sponsored in the state legislature specifically for my issue for 5 years now. And it's changed names, of course, right? I've had a bill sponsored for my particular advocacy, right? I've been down to our state capital and met with multiple occasions with our governor's policy team on appointment, right? And I got what I wanted. And the museum, $14 million, that's opening soon. That was agreed on by the state legislature. They funded it. So I actually have change. I can historically say I am the catalyst who brought a museum to Stone Mountain Park, a state park, through the legislature of Georgia, based on not my bill passing, but them agreeing, the Governor Kemp's policy team agreeing with my proposal, which they have done 85% of, right? So I am a change agent. So I find it so funny. I just let them talk. I'm amused. I let them talk. I let them say all kinds of things about, oh, women can't lead. Women don't know anything. Women don't understand politics. You are a pedestrian. I let them say all of that. And I'm just here today to show you. Today is Sunday. And I have something that I have been working on near and dear to my heart, which is HOAs. HOAs has been, I'm about to begin, I think I'm about to begin a consulting firm. Okay. It's going to be called Freeman and Freeman, because my partner in crime is also, his last name is Freeman, and we are in no relation. Okay. And so I just want to show y'all today briefly. I've been sent a lobbying package. Okay. And so I'm just gonna. It's not about seeing the details and what a lobbying package is. So I'm a lobbyist, and so I get a package, and all the points are there. This is 25 pages. I'm about to consume right now. I'm about to consume. Hey, what's up, Mahogany? Hey, just passing through. Appreciate you, lady. But this is a lobbying package. It is about 25 pages prepared by people who are lobbyists who support this bill. This is a Republican sponsored bill, and I'm about to consume it. It has all the people who have signed, the sponsors, their backgrounds, their advocacy points, things we need to say when we call and talk to them and meet with them, and all of that stuff. You see that? It's Senate Bill 406, Georgia Property Owners Bill of Rights Act. That's what it is, okay? And it's being led by a Republican, mostly Republicans. It has already passed through the Senate, and now it's going to be going through the House, okay? So it's got a really, really good chance. And so we have this legislation that we need to hit the floor. So all the talking points for each and every person who is on the committee are addressed per person. Y'all see that? This is what lobbying works looks like. I have a lot of documents, but this is the most important because all this week and all next week until this season ends, I am going to be calling and lobbying and talking with talking points to people who I need to convince, right? Because there's certain things you can say to them and you can't. We have to take into consideration their backgrounds, their history. We're studying them very closely. This is what lobbyists do. Where are they from? How do they relate to this topic? How are they influenced with their Republican perspectives? There's certain things you're not going to say, right? So what we're not going to do is call any of these Republicans and say to them, "Hey, these people are horrible. Here's some stories," because they don't do bleeding hearts. They don't care about that. They care about government overreach, right? They care about accountability and checks and balances. So this is what I'm doing today. I'm reading 25 pages. This is document 1, and then I'm going to read another document, and that one tells me specifically about the chairman. Now that one's about 5 pages because he is the most important person, the chairman of this particular bill, okay? Well, not the bill, but getting it to the floor. Okay. So he determines what gets to the floor and what doesn't, what is ignored and what is seen. We want to get this one scheduled. All right. So this is my work as a lobbyist. This is a form of leading. You understand? Being able to talk to people. And I'm very good at that. This is partly why I be talking to scoundrels and people who talk crazy. Because I've had to learn that you really, really do have to be able to talk to people you disagree with totally. I be working on my skills. I be working on my skills. I talk to the Confederates and their attorneys. I talk to them, and you can never tell that I dislike them, or you can't even tell that I really, really disagree with them. When I'm talking to them, you couldn't tell by the eyes. So this is the type of work I do. I'm a lobbyist. And so these HOAs are horrible in Georgia, right? And I have a lawyer on my second because I got two HOAs. I got a lawyer on my second one. I cleaned house on the first one. It took me 4 years and a lot of money and lawyering. I had to go through two lawyers to destroy my HOA to rebuild it. Now that it's rebuilt and I got the right board up there, we got the right board. It was a class action lawsuit. We played a lot of games. It was frustrating, but I got through it. I learned a lot. I learned so much in that HOA ass whooping. I'm not a lawyer, but I know so much money about the whole process of getting rid of HOA. I'm about to turn that into a business, a consulting firm, Freeman and Freeman. And so, in partnership with my brother, his name is Freeman. Everybody thinks we're related. We're not. We have a Freeman spirit. You understand? But he's legal. He's a lawyer, right? And so I'm gonna work with him, and we're gonna partnership with this other brother who was actually my attorney, and I'm gonna get him referrals because we got all kind of people cutting the motherfucking fool out here on these HOA boards, thinking they kings and tyrants and shit. Don't want to have elections. Don't want to have meetings. Oh, I got something for that, baby. And see, I'm gonna be the consultant. He's gonna focus on the legal part. I'm gonna focus on the organization part because that's what I do. I'm gonna help people. I'm gonna give them everything they need. He's really good at technology, right? He's really good. So he knows how to do flow charts and he knows how to use all these different, charts and infographics and stuff like that, stuff that's quick and easy to consume. And I'm going to help people get themselves organized by HOA. That's leadership. So I just find it really funny that these dudes, they don't know any women that do anything, apparently. Let me read the comments. You say ask Big J to help you lobby. Andre, you're funny. No, he can't do that. You have, BGS wants to call people pedestrians. That just means that people don't care about what he cares about, so he calls them pedestrians. I'm not interested in memorizing a bunch of books. You know what I'm interested in? I'm interested in making laws change. I'm interested in lobbying. I'm interested in supporting change at my Georgia Capitol. I'm interested in helping the legislature understand why we need to put things in place and supporting that. You understand? I'm a person, I need to do work that actually has a real change. You can literally go to Stone Mountain Park right now and you can see, matter of fact, I could pull it up. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull up my proposal so you can see it. I'm going to pull up my proposal. I can get closer now. I didn't want the names of the people that are on this proposal to be seen. I'm going to pull it up so y'all can see it. Because I'm going to show you how women can't lead. I mean, it's crazy. It's insane. But it's just because you don't have access because you don't do this work. Okay, so Stone Mountain Park. This has been I ran a national and have been running a national boycott as well as a national, what I would say is a campaign, okay, about Stone Mountain Park. Okay. And I'm going to show you my proposal. I'm going to show y'all my proposal. And I'm going to go down the list of the proposal. And I'm going to show you, okay, I'm going to show you, y'all see that? Y'all see that proposal? I'm going to show you, okay? This is a presentation we put together. Okay? Pull it up. Y'all see that? This is the proposal. This is lobbying. I met with the Stone Mountain Memorial Park in 2020. We had 2 hours. Okay? Y'all see that? Opening statement, legal support. I had a team of lawyers. Action proposal, questions and answers, next steps. Y'all see that? Legal support. I lobby. These are parts of the bill, okay? Here is what we want to do. These are our goals. Immediate action, anti-racism statement. That was number one goal. Now I have a formal document, okay? I'm gonna read your comments in a minute, Andre. I just want y'all to see women leading. I'm the chair person, the founder of this. Me. This whole thing is me. I have a problem with this. Okay? I did this. I'm a leader. I'm a lobbyist. That's why I just let them talk because they don't know what they're talking about. You don't have access. You don't have access to people who are in leadership, so you think they don't exist. Okay, so this is the anti-racism statement. You can read that if you want to. But the point of this one is this is one of the first and most important things. You got all these anti-black and neo-Nazis and stuff coming down here to this park thinking that this is a hangout spot where they're going to show their asses and stuff. This park is in the middle of a black community. We need you to have an anti-racist statement. You need to condone them motherfuckers. Tell them this ain't the spot for you to hang out. Okay? Did they do it? Yes. Check. Number two, change the names. Okay? We asked them to change the names. This is one thing that they could not do. Why? Because there is legislation on the books. And when I say change the names, I'm talking about the names of the streets. And I gave them a proposal, which is not in here, but I asked them to rename the names instead of like Andrew Jackson Boulevard. Instead, you would call it Atlanta Avenue. So I gave them a proposal for that. The governor specifically read the proposal for the names, and he said he could not change that because this will cause a definite problem that cannot be defended because it's covered by state law. Very specific. Y'all see that? Remove Confederate flags, right? Let me show y'all what I did. I did sit-ins during February. Let me see if I can get that up here. Stone Mountain removed what? They used to have a whole bunch of Confederate flags up there. Stone Mountain Park. I'm going to put it in there. Confederate flags. Confederate. Confederate. I'm trying to type with one hand. I'm trying to type with one hand. Okay. Let's look at the news. Y'all see that? This is me right here. This isn't a proposal. A new exhibit. Y'all see that? That's me. But what happened? What happened? The Confederate group is suing. Y'all see that? They work against me. You know that? They don't like what I'm doing. We got battles. We got the Confederacy group. They trying to fight. They don't want this exhibit. This is in my proposal, and it's $14 million. It's approved by the Georgia State Legislature. Y'all see that? They're suing the park but guess what? It's been dismissed. It's been dismissed because the Attorney General dismissed it. You think the Attorney General and the governor don't have agreements? Come on now. Come on. You better know something. Okay? But this Confederate flag, let me see here. The museum was supposed to open in December, but they had a delay. This is the one I'm talking about. Not Confederacy. Let me see. I'm trying to look for pictures when it came down. Look at that. Confederate group's effort to block Stone Mountain exhibit. That's the museum. It was what? Rejected. Y'all see that? They be trying to fight everything I do. They can't. But them Confederate flags came down. They tried to sue over that. They tried to sue over everything I've done. Okay? Them Confederate flags are gone. They upset. Y'all see that? That's the truth telling. That's the museum. They keep suing. They mad, right? That's because change is coming. Okay, that's the exhibit. I'm looking for the flag removal. Let me removal. They don't want the removal of them Confederate flags, but they gone. They gone. They sued about the flags too. They sue about everything. Okay. Y'all see all that? You see all that? Y'all see all that? That's work. That's work. I could go on and on and on. Let me put this in for y'all. Let me put this in. Put my name in so y'all can see the work I do. Memuna Freeman. People talk about women don't lead, that women don't know nothing. Women can't handle this. Women can't. Okay. All right. Okay. You don't get involved and you don't do anything. That's why you think so. That's why you think so. You're not around people. You're not around lawyers. You're not around lobbyists. You're not around change agents. Okay. That's why you think so. That's why you think so. That's not based in reality, though. That's just your prejudice and your lack of access. All right. Here we go. Let's look. Let's see what we see. Oh, right. Here we go. Look at that. Who is that, y'all? Who is that? Who is that? We are here to endure group praise for change, right? Channel 2. Okay. All of this. Y'all see that? 10 pages. All of that. All of that. Memuna Freeman, Stone Mountain Action. Uh-oh. Hold up. Hold up. What's that? Let me go a little forward. These brothers are revolutionaries, pro-black. Look at that. A so-called this is a collaboration. These brothers wanted to talk to me about my work, right? So how long is this thing? This is an hour and a half of me explaining the politics because I'm on an education, a national campaign. Let me stop that. Let me go back. Okay, so anyway, the flags have been what? Removed. All right, let me read what Andre said. Let me read what Andre said. Okay. He said, though I'm not a fan of MOT, I have to admit it was better conversation when he was up on AB stream the other day than last night. Okay. You said draft draft Trump Baron. What's the point of boycotting Target? Well, if Target or any business doesn't support your um your thoughts and the way you believe, you don't invest in those countries. I mean those companies, that's all. Um and me, I started boycotting Target when it was that, mostly the Christian fundamentalists were boycotting. And that's what I boycotted. I'm not boycotting the DEI shit. That's not my issue. My issue is you brought satanic, pedophilic, as well as gay shit to Target, and you try to do this whole androgyny culture. No men's, no women's bathrooms, no men, women's section. Fuck all that. I used to have a Target card and I used to shop there constantly. I had like a what, $1,200, credit card, and I used to shop constantly. I ain't giving you shit. I'm done. I'm done. That's too much. I walked into the Target and they got this whole gay ass display. I don't promote that. That's weird. So if that's what you want to do, let the gays support Target. Let them go. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was with all the conservatives, the Christian fundamentalists. I was right there with them, and I've been boycotting ever since then. And I'm not gonna stop boycotting. I'm done with Target. I'm done. They gonna learn today. Anyway, flags have been removed. The Confederate flags are removed. They sued about that. Y'all see what I'm talking about? This is action, baby. Action, baby. Okay, remove them flags. They removed the flags. I did boycott, not boycott, but sit-ins at the February every weekend. I had people gather and come, and we did literal sit-ins like the King, like Martin Luther King Jr. We also did pray-ins. We brought a whole bunch of pastors out there, and we talked about and raised hell about them flags. But I was sitting out there in February as cold as it can be, freezing, me and everybody. And every single time they would bring, the press would come, and then they would bring the police officers down there. But I always had a permit, so it's nothing to be done. I just want y'all to understand, you have people online who don't do real things, and so they think that they just know everything. They just don't have access to know anything. That's all. Women can't lead. I got a whole legislation down there, and I actually got results working with directly with the governor as a leader. That's crazy. Okay, messaging. Remove all the Confederate references, graphics, signage, programs, and merchandise from the park, including your logo and website of Stone Mountain Memorial Association. Do you know they changed the logo? They did all of this. They changed their whole marketing program. They used to focus on white women. You know who they focus on now? They focus on all the minorities. They just had Japan Fest. They brought that there. They got a Japan festival now. They got a Latino festival now, right? They used to only have what they call the Yellow Daisy Festival. Y'all know what the Yellow Daisy stands for? The Confederates. That's the only festival they used to have in the Indian Native American powwow. That's been old. But now they got a Soul Fest for Black people. They got a Latino Fest. Y'all understand? I have made change in the culture of the park. It's all about diversity now. I believe they got a Chinese New Year party. I can't even keep up. They keep coming up with shit every time I turn around. They got a new culture they want to focus on to bring people to the park. I asked them to be an inclusive park in my proposal, and it needs to represent the people who come to this park and who support this park. All that pro-white shit got to go out the door. Your marketing needs to represent that. I'm not going to spend time doing it right now, but if you go to Stone Mountain Park website, it used to only, I counted when I started this in 2018, I started counting. I've been working on this since 2018. I started counting how many different people do you have represented on your website. All these pictures you got throughout your whole website. And I counted only like one person of color. And it was like 100 and something images. You understand? That's how detailed I am. And I went to him and I said, "What is your marketing? What is this? When you walk through the park, do you walk through the park?" No, we don't. They're the board, right? They don't walk through the park. They don't know that the park is all people of color, Indians, Asians, all kind of people, Latinos, mostly black. They don't know. And I told them, you need to walk through the park. You need to see who's here. You got to brand and market to those people. I helped them out. I said, I'm here to help you because y'all got it wrong. See, I come at stuff different. I come at stuff like I'm here to support and I'm here as a seer to help you to see things. That's what I do. I communicate images and ideas, and I'm persuasive. And I get people to win to my side. I'm a lobbyist. You understand? So messaging, that was important. All of that has changed. They have changed a lot of that stuff, right? They've changed the names of a lot of stuff. They can't change the street names, but they have changed a lot of stuff. Okay. They've changed the logo. They don't promote that. They took all the images of the Confederacy. They took all that out. They don't use the rebel flag in their marketing, none of that stuff. Logo. They used to sell Confederate flags. They don't sell that no more. You see what I'm saying? I've made absolute change. And I didn't do it alone. I am a leader though. Carving maintenance. Ah, this is interesting. If you don't clean the carving, to stand in the nose, you can put a whole tree, a really tall tree, in the nose of Andrew Jackson. Okay? It's a lot of stuff growing up there. It's so huge. It's like bigger than Mount Rushmore, this carving. But if you don't maintain the carving, guess what? It'll disappear. They have not done anything to that carving in years. This is some of the stuff that confess. So it's going to disappear, y'all. They decided to do a laser show. They don't focus on the carving anymore. You will not see any merchandise, any images, or anything promoting the fucking carving, the Confederate carving. Nothing. They stopped focusing on that to the point where they got a high-tech laser program and they do it in the sky instead of on the mountain, focusing on the carving. This is what I'm talking about. We asked them to rebrand. This is what I was talking about. They took that laser show, and I'm gonna tell y'all what also happened. This right here, Atlanta Marriott, they had Confederate design. They were naming the rooms and all that stuff after Confederates. They had Confederate memorabilia all throughout that place. We told them, we said, that is not acceptable. This is Marriott Evergreen. Marriott Evergreen, when we brought this stuff to them, they determined to themselves that this is not a brand that they're interested in. They left. We actually literally got and convinced Marriott to leave. Marriott is an international brand. We convinced them to leave. Y'all understand? Okay. So to rebrand, feasibility study. Who is your market? Right? All of that stuff. Cultural tourism and events related to racial healing and justice. You see? All of this stuff is in the proposal. We asked them to redesign the park. Okay? Create festivals, arts. Use your space to do things that bring people together. Redesign the park. Okay? Focus on Native American and African American contributions, right? Focus on geology, ecology, and ecology and wildlife. Those are the type of things we did. We thought about all of this. And one of the people who's on this team, right, is actually the person who designed the Atlanta Beltline. So we even have a designer, a urban designer, right, on the team. And so we had all kind of ideas about things that we could do to redesign the park. And the idea was that it focused on history and opportunities for social and racial reconciliation. And then this is the part right here, y'all. An interpretive center. This is what is happening right now. We wanted a state of the art museum, interpretive center that has inclusive and comprehensive exhibits and programs about the Civil War, Confederacy, and what? Slavery. Y'all see that? This actually helps people in Georgia understand the history, the truth. Get rid of that old Confederacy stuff, them lies. Oh, y'all see that? Dun dun dun. Used to be Confederate flags. Dun dun dun. I bought them 5 American flags, and they're up. They are up. We got American flags now instead of what? Confederate flags. All of this has been done. All of this has been done. Okay. Now, if you want to view the proposal, this is a PDF. Okay. There it is. Y'all see that? That's it. This is all for people to see. This is my lobbying efforts. Y'all see that? These are the streets I want to rename. Robert E. Lee Boulevard, Stonewall Jackson. Y'all see that? All of these are Confederate names. Okay? Remove the flags. Messaging. Okay? It's the same thing as the other thing. It's just a little bit more concise so you can see. Okay? And this proposal had been approved, right, by Governor Kemp. And also not allowing them Nazi groups to come up there and cut a fool. Shutting it down. Don't make it easy for them to come up there and do all that stupid stuff. They want to come up there and show out. Woo woo, and screaming and carrying on and throwing rebel flags and throwing Confederacy parties and stuff. They get denied. They get denied. And Stone Mountain Park, with the blessing of Governor Kemp. Now I ain't gonna say I ain't raised a bunch of hell now. I raised a bunch of hell. I chased them down and I wouldn't let them go. I wouldn't give up. And it took a lot. But we got it done. We got it done. Y'all see that? That right there, that's leadership. That's a woman leading right there. Okay? And you can go on the website and you can see it yourself. Okay, type in Maymuna and type in Stone Mountain Action Coalition and you go to proposal, okay? And we got legal, education, action, action things you can take. House Bill 243. Y'all see that? That's the law. Y'all see that? House Bill 243. Y'all see that? That's legislation. Y'all see that right there? It's got sponsors. It tell you what to say as a a supporter. My name is so and so, and I live and vote in State Representative so and so's district. I'm willing to call and request that he or she ask the governmental committee chairperson to schedule a hearing. Y'all see that? House Bill 243 regarding Stone Mountain Park as early as possible for the General Assembly. Y'all see that? That's the work we do. We don't sit on the internet and talk shit to people. Y'all see that? The Georgia House Government Affairs Committee contact. Y'all see that right there? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see all that? These are real people who are running stuff, right? Real people. Deborah Bazemore. That's a what? A woman of the 69th district leading. Rhonda Burnow. That's a woman leading. Y'all see that? But women don't lead. Oh my God. Poor babies. Poor babies, right? Y'all see that? This is a powerful woman right here. Mary Margaret Oliver, 84th District. Powerful woman. Powerful. Shay Roberts. Y'all see that? Those are women leading. Women leading. Mary Frances Williams. Okay? So we got women out here leading. You can read about it. These are people who are supportive and they're in specific places, right? The Government House Government Affairs Committee. These are the people we want to call. This is the work, y'all. This is the work. Y'all see that? This is the work. This is the work. You got to have proposals. You got to have your legal shit. You got to have your media shit. You got to educate people, right? You got to have local stories and media. You got to have action. This is organizing people in a community. Y'all see that? All them people that be talking trash, I just let them talk. I let them talk. I don't be worried about it. I let them talk because they don't know what they're talking about. I let them talk. Y'all understand? You just let people talk because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. Let me put this down for a second because I got to put this email back up. Y'all see what I'm saying? This is a whole nother issue. This lobbying efforts. I got 25 pages I got to read, study. And then on Monday, for the next 3 weeks, I got to be on my job, right? I got to be on my job. That is Senate Bill 406. Y'all got that? Senate Bill 406. Okay? So there's a lot of lobbying efforts You understand? There's a lot of lobbying efforts being made. I'm not going to show all the different stuff, but this is just one folder. And then I got a press kit, right? I got a press kit and I got a community kit. Now, I didn't design those, right? I didn't design those, but I got a press kit. Let me go back. I got a press kit and a community action kit. I got to send this community action kit out on social media. And I got to get a lot of other people to do calling too. But they need to know the talking points because we're working across the aisle, so to speak. And you can't come at Republicans. You have to be able to relate to how they think. And they don't think like you. I mean, I have tons and tons of people. I have several organizations that are also supporting this bill that I'm connecting with at this time. They've been on my radar, but I hadn't reached out yet. Right. And I'm kind of trying to get this Freeman and Freeman consultation concept clear first before reaching out to those organizations. Because those organizations could be a business build for me. People are pissed off, they're tired. Their HOA is absolutely in breach of contract. They're looking for attorneys. They want to take action. They want to go legal. They want to do something. I need to build a bridge. Where there is a demand, there should be some supply. You understand? So that's leadership. Freeman and Freeman. That's going to happen. I see it. I feel it. It's necessary. Y'all know how many people who've heard, because I raised so much hell publicly. I'm about to do it again. Matter of fact, in about an hour, I'm about to go down to that lake and I'm about to raise hell for HOA number 2. I'm going to have them motherfuckers replaced by the end of this year. They're done. I already got a lawyer on them. They're done. Breach of contract. All of them are breach of contract. People don't know as individuals. They just suffer. But I know how to bring individuals together to create coalitions, to alert their community, and then hold them accountable legally. And now we're going to do it legislatively. Understand? But it's funny to me. And that's why I'm going to say this directly to BGS. I let you talk, brother. I let you say all that trash. And I let you do the bravado. And you know everything. And, women can't lead and nobody's leading. And people don't know nothing about politics. And they don't know how to this. They don't know how to that. I hear all of that. But you know what? I just laugh and I eat well and I grow strong. Because I don't think, like, I'm not trying to brag, but I don't think even the amount that I have done, I don't think y'all have done. You don't have any evidence of it. You don't. You can't provide any. And I'm not trying to be mean, but mostly y'all just talking on the internet. I'm out here in real life. Like I said, I could easily, let me see if I can, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I got all kind of places and spaces where you can see my work. Let me see if I can go backwards. I got my hand covering right now. All you got to do is Google Maymuna Freeman. Let me type it in. All you got to do is Google Maymuna Freeman and Stone Mountain. I got other things that I have done. But those things are already, what's the word? Resolved. So I don't feel the need to. I've done some stuff educationally. I've done some work in Medicare, my Medicaid, and disability. I've done that, and a lot of that stuff is oh, what? Check that out. Oh, they got me on AI. Oh, wow. Let's read it. Let's read it. What does it say about me on AI? It says Maymuna Freeman is a prominent activist and co-chair of the Stone Mountain Action Coalition. Oh, who advocates for removing Confederate imagery from Stone Mountain Park. She seeks to transform the park into a welcoming space by replacing Confederate banners, renaming roads, and allowing nature to overgrow the carving. Key details regarding Maymuna Freeman's efforts at Stone Mountain Park. Advocacy goals, Freeman advocates for removal of Confederate symbols as reported by what? WSB TV? Okay. I didn't know. She suggests allowing natural flora, the Action Coalition as the leader. As a leader of the Stone Mountain Action Coalition. And they got my other one up there. The what? The Stone Mountain Action Black Alliance. No, it's not true. What? As a what, BGS? This is AI, not me. It says, as a leader of, let me say, founder of the Stone Mountain Action Coalition. And again, you can go look at the website, Stone Mountain Action Black Alliance. Y'all see that? Stone Mountain Action Black Alliance. I realized that I can only go so far with white folk. So I created the Stone Mountain Action Black Alliance. Okay. She has led what? Protests during Confederate Memorial Day events and spoken at Memorial Association meetings. What? Position on funding. Freeman argues that public funds should not be used to preserve Confederate history. According to the what? The Atlanta Community Press Collective. I don't even know. I don't even know. See, some of this stuff they be talking about somebody reporting something on me. I don't even know. Oh, look at that. Maymuna Freeman. This is an article, May 2nd, 2022. Group pitches for changes at Stone Mountain Park. Okay, that's 2020. And then what's this one? Stone Mountain residents oppose Confederate monument plans. Is that me? I don't know what that is. That ain't got nothing to do with me, I don't think. I don't know what that is. Okay. There I am. You know, we are here to endure. As Maymuna Freeman sees it, there are two ways to interpret the Stone Mountain Memorial Association decision. See, they canceled board meetings because I kept bringing the press in there. And they was embarrassed. And so they started canceling meetings. They were like, we can't do anything. She just keeps coming with more news reporters. We can't do anything. Cancel the meeting. That turned into a whole nother campaign. Lord have mercy. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's where you see me. This is the day we did the proposal. Okay, let's go there. New group, that's me, urges changes at Stone Mountain Park. There we are. This right here is President Donald Trump's Georgia. That's Smith right there, y'all. That's Smith. He mean. I had him replaced. He got replaced by a black man. This is Bill Stevens. He's very important. I like Bill. She's gone from the board. She's no longer there. This was the police officer. He used to come and he used to see all my protests. He's very nice. He died. I was bad. I was feeling bad about that. That's Miguel. He's in the organization. And that's me. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? That's doing a presentation. Y'all see that? Going to board meetings. Y'all see that? That's leadership. Y'all see that? I just have to laugh at them. Look at it. Look at it. As she began her presentation before the Stone Mountain Memorial Association Board of Directors Monday morning, Maymuna Freeman unfurled an American flag on the table in front of her. I have to do stuff for marketing and propaganda purposes. And I said, the American flag is a symbol of unity. It's a symbol of equity. It's a symbol of respect for all people, said Freeman. I don't know why the American flag would not be good enough to replace the Confederate flags that are offensive to many people. Freeman, as the co chair of the Stone Mountain Action Coalition, a new organization that hopes to bring change to Stone Mountain Park, right? I can't read no more because it's you gotta pay. You gotta pay. But y'all understand? You understand what I'm saying? I let people just talk. They just on the internet talking. I'm not an internet talker. I'm out here making change. I go to board meetings. I got a suit on. I meet with people with suits. You understand? I let people talk. I let them run their mouth. I'm a lobbyist. I got my work cut. I'm about to end the stream because I got 25 pages to read. I did the same thing. I profiled him. I know everybody where they're from. That's what you got to do when you're alive. But you got to figure out. I know where he went to school. I know who his granddaddy is. I know who his kids are. I study you. I need to understand. He went to University of Georgia. I know what his degree is in. I know where he got his graduate degree. You understand? I know everything about all of them. That's the first thing I did. I profiled all of them. I did research on the whole board. All the people who are stakeholders, you have to research them. You have to know who they are, what makes them tick. All of them are Republicans, all of them. But this board is no longer. One of the things I asked Governor Kemp, I said, can we get some black people on the board? Now the majority of the board is black, y'all. The majority of this board is now black. It is black. She was the only woman. No, there's two of them. Carolyn. Carolyn is the. Ooh, that was interesting. Carolyn, she's no longer on the board, but she was the NRA president, the president of the NRA. Believe it or not, the National Rifle Association president. She used to sit on this board. This board, due to a lot of my lobbying and planning and making points, how can you have a park that has all these black people and you don't have one black person on the board? I sat in these chairs and I asked them, how do you manage to have an all white board and you don't have one black person? No representation. And this whole park is all black. They thought about that shit. And you know what they came back with? They came back with two. They came back with two black men to be on this board. And right now, that black man, he replaced this man who was a real racist, hateful man, Smith. That's Trump's attorney. You can look him up. He did that whole stop the steal bullshit here in Georgia. Him. That's Trump's direct attorney. I was actually a little bit afraid of Smith because he has a direct connection to Smith, to Trump. Direct. He got indicted, matter of fact, here in Georgia. I was celebrating. I was like, good. I hope your ass go to jail. Low down dog. I do not like Smith, but I talked to him constantly when he was there. Right? So I know how to navigate, you know. I know how to talk to people who have opposite opinions. And I personally, I can see that now, like I'm just saying, this is not about BGS, but I just wanted to demonstrate today how people who don't have access to stuff, they just don't have access. And so it limits their actual knowledge. They think they know a lot, but they don't because they're not involved. You know, you can make up all kind of stuff. I'm just being honest. You can make up all kind of stuff. I was involved in this. I was involved in that. Can you document it? I can pull my name up. You can type my name in anything, right? You can type my name up and you'll see my picture, my face, my likeness. Ain't nothing to hide if this is what you do. But this is who you are. Let's look at videos. Let's look at images. Look at images. Y'all see that? Look at images. Look at images. This is the work I do. There's nothing to hide. And most of these articles, this is, I'm in the article. That's why it came up. It says Maymuna Freeman. Y'all see that? Maymuna Freeman. Maymuna Freeman. Y'all see that? That's Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Atlanta First. Okay, that's Instagram. What is that? AL.com? I don't know what the fuck that is. Some Atlanta First. Fox Atlanta. All of these articles contain my name. Reuters, The Independent, Milwaukee Independent, right? The Atlanta Community Press Collective, the AP, Associated Press. All these articles are about the work I'm doing with the organization that I started. Reuters, right? WJCL, Decatorish, WABE, the Georgia Recorder. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? There goes another one. Picture of me. All of these contain my work. All of these. Okay? I got some shit. I'll be like, I don't even know the day, Southern Poverty Law Center. It's all over the place. That one. AJC. The Daily Mail. That's me with my big mouth. right? All of these, all of these articles feature my quotes, my words, okay? All of them. All of them. I'm not no bullshit artist. You can look my shit up. You can see me. You can see the work I do. My pictures, I don't hide. I can tell you my name. I can show you what I have done. I can show you what I represent because I'm real. I don't have to hide and pretend that I did something through somebody else. Okay? Let's see if there's any videos. Oh gosh. See, I got to check. It's a lot of stuff I don't know. Nah, no videos really. But yeah, news wise, yes, tons of stuff. Maymuna Freeman, Maymuna Freeman, Maymuna Freeman. I even found my shit in India Times. I was like, what the hell, India Times? How the fuck I end up in India Times? I gotta put an N right there. Eliminate my search by spelling my own last name wrong. But yeah, the India Times, Atlanta Community Press, all that stuff. Got plenty of places. I'm in the and that's the thing. When you do a lot of legal stuff, your name appears. Let's go look. Black Enterprise. Black Enterprise. Y'all see that? Maymuna Freeman in Black Enterprise. With her what? Her organization she founded, Stone Mountain Action Coalition. Y'all see that? I don't play around. I'm not fake. I don't need stupid books. I get out here and I get things done. And if y'all don't believe it, you can come to Stone Mountain Park and you can see it for yourself. You can see all of it. Okay. Oh, yeah. See, I say I got a lot of stuff I do, but it's not relevant right now. So here is me in I was the planner. I was the planner leading again for Decatur. The Juneteenth Decatur City holds first celebration of what? Juneteenth. And this is my quote. This will be a truly grassroots and community effort, said Maymuna Freeman. Stone Mountain Park around something around themes and racial respect. They was talking about my organization, but that was folded into it. Y'all understand? So even the city of Decatur, that's city of Decatur, y'all see that? That's the city of Decatur's website. I have a lot of work I do that's just not. I focus on the stuff I'm doing actively right now. But yeah, you'll see all kind of articles. Yahoo articles. There we go. I'm in Yahoo. Freeman is with the Stone Mountain Action Coalition. The Daily Mail. Y'all see that? Maymuna Freeman. The AP. Maymuna Freeman. Y'all see that? AJC, that's local, Atlanta Journal Constitution. The Arkansas Democrat Gazelle. Maymuna Freeman. Oh, here you go. The Times of India. I don't know how I ended up in that. Maymuna Freeman, right? All over the place. Oh Lord, I ain't never seen that one. The Taiwan News, Maymuna Freeman. So I mean, I did a national campaign, so I guess that's how the shit ends up being in India. I found my shit in Canada. Now I see it's in Taiwan. So it's people all over Arkansas, all kind of places. Okay, all kind of places, and it's in places multiple times, not one time. So we're in Black Enterprise, Daily Mail. There's a national, what do you call it? I think it's national. Okay, let's see here. There's another one. It says Stone Mountain Memorial Association. She said that the NAACP calls the state to repatriate Stone Mountain Park as an inclusive park. Maymuna Freeman told the board she was a member of. Yeah. So yeah, you just you can see people's real work. There's the Independent, Maymuna Freeman, co-chair of. That's leading. That's leading, lobbying, and educating. All of that, y'all. All of that. All of that. You know. And I think there's some National Geographic. There's some CNN, right? Promoting it. I could put CNN, Stone Mountain. All of that was during my time. That was press. Let me see. I'm gonna put in Stone Mountain Park, CNN, so y'all can see that. because we sent stuff to the press and it's not about the person. Sometimes we would have other people, not just me, who was doing the press. So let's see if we can find some CNN. Mm-hmm. Y'all see that? We got CNN here in 2017. We got CNN covering us in 2021. We talk about telling the whole story exhibit. That's the one I'm talking about right there. Okay, come on, CNN. Y'all see that? The truth telling exhibit. That's the one I'm talking about that's in the proposal. I told him I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, and it's wrong that you guys are down here telling lies and half information. You got to tell the whole truth if you're going to tell history. It's wrong. As a teacher of literature, I can tell you it's wrong. Y'all got to do something about it. Okay? And so, as part of that process, we came up with the idea of a museum. And that museum costs $14 million. And it's approved by the Georgia State Legislature budget. And it will be here in March. Okay? And why did that happen? Because Maymuna Freeman is a teacher who said, you got all these children coming here and y'all telling lies and half truths, and it's not right. So there it is on CNN. National Largest Confederacy. This is part of my national campaign. We call CNN. National Largest Confederate Memorial to get new exhibit telling the whole story of Georgia Stone Mountain. Yes. Yes. Okay. And it's in play right now. And like I said, it's easy to sit on the internet and cosplay and pretend that you are responsible, that you did things that you didn't do, and associate yourself right by osmosis that you got so much accomplished. But where's your name on it, baby? That's all I want to ask you. Can you do this? Can you put your name on it? Can you show where the people have talked about your work? Have you? Here goes another one. We got an article in CNN, Stone Mountain and Other Monuments to the Confederacy in 2020. I started this organization in 2019. I had been working on it since 20, was it 2018? I started working independently. I didn't have a group at that time. I would just go down there and sit at the board meetings and talk to them. I'd just be my little black ass and 9 board members. I'd be like, hey, y'all, let's talk. They're like, what is she doing? What is she doing? And as I said before, I partner with several organizations, the NAACP, and I partner with Hate Free Decatur, and I partner with, and this is why it had to happen. Y'all see that? Pro-white, anti-KKK group clashes at the Georgia landmark. This was in 2016. So wait a minute, hold up. Y'all bringing Nazis down here? They cutting up? They fighting and shit? They coming to Atlanta? My backyard? They want to act ugly? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I was like, oh no, we got to do something about this. And I got engaged. And I said, this got to change. Y'all ain't finna be like no Nazis down here to this motherfucking park full of black people. Y'all not finna do that. And y'all see that? Every year they try to have a Confederate memorial where they bring all the Nazis down here and they ride around trying to intimidate people. Y'all got to cut that shit out. Y'all got to cut that shit out. And so I jumped into action. Okay. And this one day, ooh, let's watch that one real quick. Let's watch that one real quick. This was crazy. So we end up having a whole fucking, what's the word? A damn revolution in downtown Stone Mountain. We had a showdown. This right here is a Confederate. These Confederates came from Arkansas. They came from Alabama. They came from everywhere. They wanted to fight. And then there's Antifa. And Antifa tried to partner with me. I work with Remove the Hate. But Antifa's in here. They tried to partner with me. I was like, hey, hey, hey. I don't know about y'all. And look at this. This is Antifa. And all these people with cameras, a lot of them, they FBIs and shit. They not what you think. Okay. They look at him. He's setting the Confederate flag on fire. They done took over and shut all the businesses down in the city. And the streets are just full of rioters, protesters, Antifa, people with knives and shit and guns. They came to fight. They got all this media. It was crazy. Okay. He's trying to set this Confederate flag on fire. That's what he's doing. And everybody wants to see the Confederate flag burning. There it is, right? There it is. But it was a big, big protest down there. It was really nasty. There were fights, especially that big white guy. Um, the Confederates came down here. I mean, it was crazy. They did like a multi-state entourage to come and try to show out. But when they got here, Antifa was waiting for them. And not only was Antifa, I was down there too. Do I have that video where I was confronting dude? I wasn't like physically confronting. Y'all see all the people? They was just tussling and fighting, and it was crazy. And the Confederates, they ended up getting back down before it was over. They ended up underneath the library. They went to the library because they were so outnumbered. It was so sad. Y'all, I'm like, y'all are pitiful. Did you really literally come to our did y'all really literally come to our damn city with this bullshit? It didn't work out for them. That's all I can tell you. It didn't work out for them. Okay? It did not work out for them. Okay? And so that's the work I do. And I work with the what is it? What's the other organization? The Southern Poverty Law Center. Okay. So you gotta partner with people, you gotta build coalitions. And that's what I'm saying. These people that be talking and running their mouth, acting like they doing so much. Who is your partners? Who are your coalitions? Are they documenting you? Are they putting you out there, you and your name of your organizations? Do you have any documentation? Do you have a track record that anybody can follow? If you don't, you're likely not somebody who is actually doing anything political. I'm just being honest. Because and it's not like you're looking for recognition. It's just that when you're involved and when you're engaged, and this is the work you do, there's track record. You can't hide it. The press is there, the documents, they're legal documents, you know, there's a track record. I have plenty of places I've done protests. So if you go through what you call it, open records request, do open records request on me. You're gonna see all kind of protest applications, sit-in applications, you know? You're gonna see my name in transcripts for meetings and board meetings and stuff like that. You know, they document all of that. You're gonna see documentation. And that's all I'm saying. I laugh. I just laugh when people try to downgrade you. You know, you have to, y'all. You can't take people on the internet serious. You got people who will sit and they don't do anything. They claim a bunch of stuff they can't actually put their name on. Their name is not on it. Or they hide themselves, you know. I'm so high profile, I can't tell you my real name. Okay. All right. Okay. Right? I'm part of a bigger organization. Well, you're not a leader then. If your name ain't on nothing, your name, you're not really running nothing. You ain't really leading nothing. If you a leader, your name is on some shit, okay? So I just laugh. I just have to laugh. I got to laugh because people are out here cosplaying. And then they got the nerve to try to talk down and look down on other people. That's the part that kills me. They got the nerve to try to talk down and look down and downgrade people who they don't even have any track record they could put it up against and compare. None. You understand? So anyway, I made a quick video. Let me see if I can find that video on YouTube. Let me see if I can find that video. I think it's in my own fucking hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find that shit. Okay. What time is it? It's 3. I better get to reading. I got a lot of reading to do. God damn it. Okay, YouTube. I got a lot of reading to do. I got 25 pages to read. I got a cheat sheet so I don't have to worry too much if I don't finish reading, but I definitely need to read as much as I can. Particularly there's some people who are really important at the top of the list. I think he gave me the top 5. So I'm gonna make sure I understand them. And I'm trying to really get into a Republican mindset. And they said, pretty much all of that, what do you call it? Appeal to emotion. What the fuck? Okay, I need to switch. Okay, let me do that. Oh my God. Are you serious? Let me try again. Was it Made of Alchemist? Why is that not signed in here? It's crazy. I'm gonna pull it up. 1 second. There it is. Made of Alchemist. Okay, so let me see if I got my videos. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Is it a short? Maybe I made it a short. My computer. I need to get a new computer this year. This motherfucker slow. This motherfucker is slow. Okay. I think I got it. There we go. Those are my sit-ins. That's me down at the Capitol. That's me with my organization down at the Capitol. That's me in Governor Kemp's office. Don't let them do that to you. There she is. Me in board meetings. Don't let them do that to you. Governor Kemp, chairman. Okay. Sit-ins, NAACP. Don't let them do that to you. These are the cabins. They've been removed. Ashe. I asked them to move them cabins down at the Capitol. Gold Dome. Sit-ins. Lobbying with lawyers. Down at the Capitol. Lobbying. Ashe. Ashe. Y'all see my point? I got a track record of what I do. Y'all see this one? Here's another one. Let me play that. Is it gonna play? Are you referring to black is black? What in the hell? Why is his voice on there? That's not for him. There we go. Me at the Capitol again, lobbying. Sit-ins in February. I got them flags down though. Lobbying with the lawyers in Kim's office, presenting, negotiating, leading, t-shirts, organization, lawyers and lobbyists, organization leaders. Y'all see that? Boardroom meetings, lobbying, presenting. He gone. That's me. I do this work. Organization. Coalitions. Down at the Capitol again. Lobbying. Lobbying. Lobbying with legislators. I don't put a lot of pictures of who I know up here. I don't think that's a good idea. I keep my relationships down to, quiet. You keep your relationships quiet. And there's no need to have anybody here. No, he didn't. V-Dub, what you mean I'm a short little thing? I told y'all I was short. I'm 5'2", man. I'm 5'2". I told y'all I was short. I gotta get like a ladder to get in my cabinets. I am short. I think I told y'all I was short. I said I'm a short little fat lady. I'm short. So yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. I'm out here doing this shit. So let me see what else. Andre, he be just writing and typing. He said the draft. What's the point of boycotting? He said, has this been updated since 2020? I guess he's talking about the proposal. The proposal has not been updated because we put everything in at the early point for all the stuff. So it didn't need to be updated. But I can tell you two things that happened that I'm very happy about. Let me see. Let me go back and let me find something because um I have a video of me going up to the park and finding out that they took the damn slave cabins. That was the thing that was bothering me the most. That was in the proposal too. Get them fucking slave cabins out of here. And so I made a video of me. Um, oh shit. No, I need to go back to YouTube. I shouldn't have came out. I made a video of me live talking to one of the people who was in the management company of the park. And let me tell y'all the truth. I broke into the goddamn park. I went past the fence because I wanted to see if the slave cabins was gone. I wanted to see if they was gone. So I broke in and he caught me. He fucking caught me, you know? I got caught, y'all. I got caught. And since I got caught, he said, "You can't be out here. You can't do that, ma'am." And I was like, "My bad." And I proceeded to interview him and get information. Well, I can tell you the update is that since I interviewed him, I already knew it. I said it in the video. I said they about to get fired. That management company about to get fired. They got fired. So right now, that management company, it's been what, 2 weeks, I guess, that they've been looking for replacements. So this will be their third management company. And so that's an update. Um, but it was cool because I saw that the slave cabins were gone. And I know for a fact that that was strategic, because the money it would take to move them and go through a lot of processes was not going to be easy. So let me go back to my shorts. I think in one of these videos, I include, you see me, I also do campaigns. I do campaigns. I did campaigning with Stacey Abrams. I'm very politically involved. Uh-oh. America. Uh-oh. They're going to get me for the music. Damn. What did I do? I had before and after. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold on. I want y'all to see. Y'all see that? Uh-oh. Let me get it to stop. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was happening. That was the plantation house. I did not do it. I did not do it. I did not do it. Okay. But the plantation house went up into flames. This was one of the things I wanted them to remove, that damn Confederate massive plantation house. And it went up in flames. And so that's one of the things that happened. That's the ancestors. I did not do it. I say that all the time. I did not do it. So here, wait. This is America. They gonna have to just get me. Y'all see that Confederate monument in the background? Gone. Fucking gone. 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 I participated. This me. Me. Boom. Organizing. Coalition building. Yeah. 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 Work. This is when they came down to the Capitol again. Elected official. Celebration. I was her campaign manager. I'm a campaign manager. Say no to Jim Crow, goddamn it. NAACP. Shade. Oh, lobbying. This is America. Ha ha. Y'all see that? I be working. I do my work. Leading. Y'all see that? I don't fuck around. I don't fuck around. So there I organized a group. Man, that shit was so big. And we got this Confederate monument down. Worked for years to do it. And like I said, everything is coalition building. It ain't no one person to get anything done. It's a lot of organizing I've done. I think that was down at the ADL, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been. I can't remember. I've been through so many different trainings and workshops, I can't remember. But it's all advocacy. Y'all know? And so she became the first Black female mayor of this one particular city. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm done. I'm done. I've made my case. And all I can say is I laugh when People want to talk shit and try to downgrade you and act like you don't know nothing and you can't lead and you stupid and you ain't capable of making nothing happen in the world. I laugh. I laugh because I have access to lots of people who do amazing and powerful things. I know women who lead. I just proved that. We got all kind of elected female officials and stuff. This idea that women are stupid and they can't lead and they this and they that and da 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 da. Bullshit. It's all bullshit. I would say it's men who don't have access to power that believe that women don't lead and can't lead. You just don't have access to power. Because if you have proximity to power, you'll see women who are leading. I'll say that. Okay. And leadership is leadership. Organizations, leadership. I could think of the NAACP chairman. Chairperson. She was on my board. She was the DeKalb NAACP president, leading this whole county, which always turns out a high Democratic vote. She's been leading that for at least 6, 7 years. Black woman. Okay. I know leaders, so I just laugh. I just have to laugh. I know many, many people, these different sororities and different organizations, women leading them. I know white women who lead organizations, lead state level organizations, national organizations. I know, so I can kind of I'm not gonna do no name dropping. So I'm not gonna do that here. But I can just count on both of my hands right now. Easily. Easily. Women who are leaders at the state level, level organization, nonprofits. My dear friend Mozella Galloway, I went to school with her and she built an organization called Her Story. It's still going to this day. She passed away. And her thing was about telling Black women's stories and keeping the accomplishments alive. I know women who run amazing organizations, profit, nonprofit, women who run amazing businesses, leadership. I just gotta laugh. That's all I can say. I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh at people who just don't have access to successful people. You just don't have access to successful people. And successful people are male and female. Easy. Not hard. Okay, so where was I at? Last thought. So the slave cabins are gone. And the plantation house is gone. The only thing I'm waiting on them to do is change them goddamn signs. And I'll be honest, the next governor I'm watching closely. I was gonna at first try to probe and see where each candidate stood and who I would support, but I ain't finna support none of them. So I'm not gonna put no work in. I'm gonna wait and see who becomes the governor. And then the lobbying begins. And of course, these legislators that wrote the bills, they know the temperature down at the state capitol. There's no need for me to do all that research and shit. I just need to wait, see who becomes the governor, and then we pick up where we came from. Now, I have one guy, I can just tell he a straight cracker. So if he wins, I know I'm fucking done. I'm gonna go sit down somewhere and focus on this HOA shit. But I got one more stone to turn. That's them goddamn signs. I wish I could show my proposal, but that's kind of confidential. So I won't show that. The one about the street signs. This is the one I sent directly to Governor Kemp. So I mean that's confidential. So I won't show that. But I could just tell you that it was Atlanta Avenue, Augusta Street. I even named one Raven Gap Circle or some shit. I named all these different. I renamed all the streets, and I thought it was pretty cool. Um, you said, are they having racist demonstrations in that park? I have no idea what this is. I'm just curious. Well, yes, they were having racial demonstrations. It's a Confederate themed park. The South was mad about integration, so they built this park in order to tell Black people, fuck you, you ain't shit nigger. That's what they built the park for. They put plantations there. They put a whole bunch of Confederate flags. The whole damn thing is centered around niggas ain't shit and they need to be enslaved, okay? And maybe I should have said that before. Explain. I know. I understand the nature of it. But it was the South's way of saying fuck you nigga. That's what it was. And they had actual big house. That's the one I showed you that's on fire. That's it right there. Can y'all see that? That's the big house. And that motherfucker burnt. And they had slave cabins there. And so it's called Historical Square. It used to be called Confederate Square. And when you go to Confederate Square, they had fake slaves and fake massa and all that shit. And you could pretend you was in slavery. You understand? And they were reenacting it. They got old fat black women sitting around baking bread and shit, making potato salad, you know. And they got white women running around in bell dresses pretending that they're Scarlett O'Hara. And so that was what they did. They really wanted to encapsulate the good old South. And so it's a theme park for people who love slavery. Can I say that? Stone Mountain Park was designed as a theme park for people who love slavery. And that can't exist anymore. It can't exist. Ain't that some sick shit? Ain't that some sick shit? Anyway, I'm about to go. Let me read any other comments. Yeah, they stopped letting them come. We got an agreement with the Attorney General of Georgia that this, yes, it is freedom to assemble and all of that. But at the same time, if the assembly that you're doing is going to be intimidating and terrorizing to a community and family oriented space, it's not welcome. And so that's how we got them to stop getting permits to come and do neo Nazi demonstrations. It's not family friendly. What exhibit are you proposing? I already proposed it. It is an exhibit that covers the truth from slavery to Reconstruction. I'm sorry, slavery to Civil War to Reconstruction and into the Civil Rights Movement. They just focused on slavery. That's how it was. They was focused on, look at slavery. Isn't it great? We love slavery. So the exhibit, when I came, I said as a teacher of literature and history, it is unacceptable that you have stuff like a slave cabin and the only thing you wrote is slave cabin as on the exhibit. And the only thing you wrote was, here's where they have pots and they keep warm and they sleep in burlap bags. I got pictures of this shit. They did this in the 1960s. And I said, are you fucking serious? You bringing black children in 2020 into a park and showing them slave cabins. And you're not giving no context. These kids are getting off the bus reading this shit. You're not telling them slavery wrong. You're not telling them slavery ended. You're not telling them nothing. How did slaves get here? The dehumanization. You ain't putting nothing in. This is a slave cabin. They cooking in pots. Look at their burlap sacks where they slept. Are you fucking kidding me? And he walking them through plantations. Look how beautiful. Look at how beautiful the couch is. It was imported from fucking England, you know? I was like, are you guys fucking kidding me? You just walking kids through fuck shit and you not explaining slavery. You're not explaining dehumanization. You're not explaining nothing. Disconnectedness, abuse. You're not connecting the desire for freedom, that fact that people could not move and go. Like you just leaving everything. Are you fucking serious? This is not educational. Why are schools bringing children here for you to point out shit like ain't nothing wrong with it? No context at all. Here go massa. Here goes slavery. Here go the slave cabin. Like, I said, you're going to have to do better than that. If you're going to be bringing children and schools to this place, because I told him, I said, I would call every single school of every single county. That's what I told him. I would call every single, I'll get some people on it. And we would tell them, don't ever, I probably only within 2 hours, because nobody within further than 2 hours is going to come to Stone Mountain Park, as far as field trip. But I told them within the 2 hours drive, I will get every school district to disavow this park and let them know that they cannot bring their students to this fucking park. And I will show them in screenshots that I put on PowerPoints, multimedia presentation, maybe even a film, probably a film, why they should never bring children in a decent society to Stone Mountain Park because it's dis and misinformational. It's miseducation. I told myself I'm gonna do the campaign as a teacher, as an educator. I'm gonna do a miseducation campaign and I'm gonna shut y'all the fuck down. Y'all won't get no school buses in this bitch. They was like, ooh, she's right. She's correct. Yeah, we might need to do something about that. So they took down, if you see the video, let me see, do I have the video? I'm not going to play the video, but I'll show you where it is, where I snuck in and I got caught. In the part that's the pretend, it's the pretend plantation. That's this area right here. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find that section. God damn it. Nobody wants to see no pudding, man. Let me see if I got that video. No, it's a live video. It's a live video. And so you can see me and dude. Where is it at? I snuck in the park. Did I put that? I snuck in the fucking park. Where is it? I snuck in the goddamn park. Did I delete it? Not delete it, but did I? It's supposed to be a live video. But I snuck in the fucking park. Ah, there it is. There it is. May is going to the plantation. Now this picture is an old picture, okay? That's what the slave cabin used to look like. And so what happened is I snuck into the fucking plantation. This was like 3 months ago. Look at me. I done went past the fence and broke through it. I'm trying to check on these cabins to see if they're gone. Let me forward it. And then I get caught as I get closer. You see me walking. This is the plantation. This is the fake plantation. We're supposed to pretend it's slavery, right? That's what all this shit is. Pretend everything is slavery. They got a big massa house. They got barns. They got all this shit. Okay. And I'm walking. You're going to hear a white man. He say, hey, get out of there. Watch. Yeah. I say. You can, you can hear him yelling, you can't be over there. I done broke in. He's like, come out of there. But that's where the slave cabins were. That's where they were at. The 1 and 2. And they're gone. I'm so happy. I don't know what to do. The slave plantations. The slave cabins. They're gone. That's where they were at, right there. And they are. They're gone. Right, they took them up. I'm so happy, y'all. It made my heart sing. Let me. This white man is like, he's like, I'm with the park and you're not supposed to be over here. And da 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 da. And so this is me and him talking. Oh. COVID came along, they didn't want to keep the staff. So that's me and him talking. So I just went ahead and kept recording. And he's a historian. And so me and him are talking. It's old wood and it's, we ended up talking for like 30 minutes. And I just kept videotaping it. But he gave me the confirmation of how it's on there if y'all want to see it. He gave me the confirmation of how the slave cabins got gone. And he gave me some updates and stuff like that on the park. I got a lot of relationships with different people there. So I just like to get different people's perspectives. But he was working at the management. When I was talking to him, I was thinking, you ain't got long, bro. But I kept that to myself. Because inside the information, I knew that they were getting a new management coming. But he caught me sneaking in. You said that was a flattering picture. Oh, thank you, Ambassador. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's kind of, that's the work I do. And so this idea, I just laugh when people try to downgrade folk. And like I said, it's a privilege. It is definitely a privilege to be able to It's a privilege to be able to have the time and the mindset and the mentality to change your environment. And we got to be honest about that because a lot of people are hand to mouth. A lot of people working two, three jobs. A lot of people don't have the space. Hey, Ambassador, I meant to say hey to you. They don't have the space and the mental capacity. People have on the highest level of stress at all times. It's a luxury to have time to think about community and to be an activist and to, especially, I get paid for some stuff, but there's stuff I don't get paid for. I get paid for some propaganda stuff, but there's some stuff I don't get paid you know. And so, like you got campaign management and all, it's a lot of different angles to this. Organizing events, there's a lot of different angles to it. But you don't, all aspects of what you do, you don't get paid for. Leading this organization, there was no pay, none. And I worked hard as hell. There was no pay involved in that organization. I had a whole bunch of woke white folks that financed everything, right? From t-shirts to hosting to events and stuff like that. And I'm not going to say the black folks didn't contribute, but it was majority white folks, contributing money, stickers and flyers and print and this and that. I'm being honest. But it's a privilege. Everybody doesn't have time to worry about the community and doing stuff and legal stuff and changing bills and lobbying. I went down into the Georgia Dome. Every time you go down there, you paying $20 just to park. You know, it's cost to this stuff. There's people that be like, man, I gotta get me a second job. I ain't got time for this shit. I got bills. It's a privilege to have time. And like I said, I retired at 42. And if I think about it, my father, I believe he retired at 45. My dad retired early. My dad retired early. I retired early. My husband retired early. I'm about to go out here and I would have been in the garden already, but fucking rain started. Cause I was gonna pull all the weeds up. I got how long? An hour? Then I got to do tutoring with my daughter. But it's a privilege. It's a privilege. And everybody doesn't have the privilege of time. Like I got time to go down to the park and hang out with this old white dude. I got time to break into the park and go videotape and talk shit. I got time. I got one thing I got is motherfucking time. Okay. I got time. I got to do a couple of invoices. Just did a big delivery order. And I need to get paid. So I need to do that. But I got the privilege, y'all. I got the privilege. And I hope that more black people, we can't blame ourselves because we don't have enough black people with the mindset and the time to focus on these things. People want to shit on black people. Why black people ain't trying to make nothing happen? No, 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 no. Black people are trying to survive. And unfortunately, most of us have been taught to live above our means. You understand? Like this computer I have, this is an Apple. I bought this shit like 7 years ago. And it still works. It's good. So I keep it. But if I was going with the main culture, they teach me, nah, you got to get you a new Apple, girl. You got to get that thin one, girl. You got to go upgrade everything, girl. Right? And so that computer, which is fine, I got to live above my means, right? And I got to go get me a brand new Apple. $4,000. Now I'm on a payment plan or I'm paying it out, debt, credit card, right? Or I'm out of cash, whatever. And that's what we do. We live our lives doing too much, wanting too much. And so we can't retire early. That's the truth. We should all be able to retire by 45. But the decisions that we make daily, I got to wear the highest, flyest clothes. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to impress people. That's the problem. People trying to impress folks. I could give a fuck what people think about me, honestly. I don't give a fuck. I live my best life the way I want to live it every day, okay? I'm living according to my rules. What do I want to do every day? I want to read some. I want to exercise. I want to go hike, right? I want to go in my backyard and I want to throw some dirt. I want to garden for the most part. I want to be in my kitchen and burn incense and talk shit on the internet, right? I want to listen to politics. I'm living my life the way I want to live it. And when I get the mood to travel, I just go. I don't think about it. I just go. My husband is the same way. We custom design. What does our life look like? We're not on the rat race anymore. No, no, no. I figured out the key to alchemy. I figured out the key to alchemy. You decide, and then it is. It is. Every day is as I desire it for it to be. I don't deal with stress, at least until I start fucking around with this HOA. I got first world problems, people. I got first world problems. That's the only source of my stress. These motherfucking personalities of these HOA people. It just pissed me off. But other than that, I don't have no real problems. I live beneath my means. What your ambassador say? He said, I said it was the position of the stay-at-home mom to push the political interests of the family because of the time resource. Interesting, ambassador. Interesting. Let me read that again. You said it is the position of the stay-at-home mom to push the political interests of the family because of the time resource. That's true. That's true. That's true. And I mean, I think for women who have, the skills to support the community politically or socially, if she's got the skills, that's definitely a good use. Why the fuck is my hair coming loose? That's a good use of a woman's energy. Why the fuck is my hair coming loose? This is crazy. I'm used to my hair being twisted tight and this motherfucker loose. That's crazy. Why is it so loose? That's bothering me. My hair's too straight. I'm used to it being nappy. Why is it so oh my God. It's too straight. It must be thinning or something. What the fuck? Anyway, let me exclude that conversation. But yeah, women who have certain skills is better utilized. I agree with you. It's better utilized for the greater good of the community. And I think that, like I do HOA stuff. I have time for the HOA. I walk around, pass out flyers, talk to people, have meetings, do collaboration. And what is HOA about? HOA is about keeping the environment safe. I just had another conversation with this brother in my HOA. I'm so frustrated with him because I keep telling him it's a business opportunity. And he just does not have I don't know what you call it. He don't have the gumption. I told him, I said, dude, I tried to give him a pep talk. I said, the money's there. The president of our HOA is a woman. Again, hello, BGS. It's a woman leading the HOA, okay? Women lead. She has decided that it is in the budget to have a security patrol, like all the other communities around here, okay? And she's got a budget for that. And I told him, I said, brother, I've been in her ear about this security shit on your behalf. So the time is now. And so he did approach her. He said something, but I gave him a clue. I said, listen, how did it go when you talked to her? Well, I needed her to tell me X, Y, and Z, and she needed to say X, Y, and Z, and she didn't get back to me on X. I said, brother. I said, the first thing I'm going to tell you about business, at least from my experience, is that when you have a customer in your hand, in your grasp, do not make them work. Don't make them do shit. Well, I was gonna get my proposals together. If she had a gave me the information, I said, You come with three-tiered promote program, three-tiered proposal on your security program, three tiers, different price points, different things you're gonna do at different levels. You give her all week, you give her just the weekend, day and night, and then you give her weekend nights only. I had to tell the brother because I just assumed that he understood the mission, but he didn't understand the mission. And he about to fuck up the bag. So I had to give him a pep talk after he told me that he still ain't really got her no proposal. The woman got money. I said, the contract, you could be getting paid now. What are you doing, brother? She already said she want people in the community to get the contracts if they meet the qualifications. And you do. You train FBI and tac dogs and shit. You know? I don't know what he does. He's like some kind of, he got a day job and then he got a business. Okay. He got a business where he does security. Okay. I think that, I'm not sure if that went out. My husband just called. I gotta go. But I was gonna say the brother has he has a business and he trains attack dogs for the government. He trains attack dogs for, I don't know, officer dogs or some shit like that. Officer, is that what you call an officer dog? It's not just attack. He's smart. He's a smart dog. But anyway, he does that for full time, and he's got the qualifications. He's got all that stuff. And I told him, I said, don't make it hard for her. Give her a proposal. Give her the numbers, and the only thing you got left to do is to negotiate. That's it. And he was like, "Oh, I didn't think about it like that." I said, "Yeah, you wanna get to, like, make her work, make her convince you. That's not the way you approach business. You give the person options and you make it easy. Pick one. And you telling her to fill out forms and tell you how many houses and how many streets." And I said, you go find out how many houses. You drive around and you figure out how many streets. I really want the brother to get the contract." And then he was talking about, "Oh, yeah, something temporary." I said, "Brother, no. You need to give her a long term, something feasible. You don't even got to work this. You know this. You got employees. Give her something the community wants to keep a presence of security. They're not just trying to have something for this year. It's going to be long term. So think long term. Think about, your return on investment, how much gas prices going up and all this other shit. Give her a proposal where you going to make money. We got it. The HOA collecting money like a motherfucker. You got it, brother." And I'm serious. I'm done. After this time, this is the third time I've tried to get him. I think I've done video about it before. He wants it, but he's not thirsty. He's not thirsty. And so I told him, I said, "Listen, I had a situation where I wanted a contract. I wanted to get on with this city. And I emailed the city councilwoman because um, I saw this city councilwoman making commentary about black businesses, right? She was making commentary about black businesses. And it had something to do. She was so excited about Juneteenth and something, something. And she was a white woman, and she was talking about how this city loves black businesses and wants to encourage and do business with black businesses. I said, oh. So I got on the email and I typed it in. I set it up. I said, "Hey, lady, I happen to be a black business. I see what you're talking about. I like the way you're talking." And ever since then, I've been on with that city. I get invited to all their stuff. I do business with their city, right? You get on and you stay on. That's how that work. You get on and you stay on. I had to tell him that, and I don't understand why. You get on and you stay on, brother. This is long term. Get her to sign a 3-year contract. Tomorrow, I'm just going to, about a year so I can get this place together. People will know that it's been cleaned up. I said, "Nah, you got the wrong mentality. We're talking about an ongoing contract so you can stay paid. Come on now. You're missing the bus, my brother." But this is my last time. I didn't give him all I got. And if he can't do it from here, it ain't for him. That's it. If he can't do it from here, when I get hungry for something, I go for it. No hesitation. I give it my all. And I'm not a know-it-all, so I consult people. I say, "Hey, how do I do this? Hey, can you help me with this? Da, da, da. What's the best way for me to approach so and so? Can you make an introduction? Can you be the bridge? How do I say X, Y, and Z? What do I need to know?" I'm not a know-it-all. I know how to ask for help. But at the same time, you got to be willing to take the help as a clue and use it. And this brother gonna miss this contract. He keep playing around. I gave him a pep talk. We're gonna see how it go. But I'm not finna mommy him. I ain't finna be like, send me your 3 proposals. Let me check it out. Let me help you along the way. That's too much. That's too much. Because if you can't get the proposal, you really probably can't run the business. Oh shit. Anyway, let me see. Last comment. Um, at the very least, he should delegate the task to someone willing to make the proposal for him. Ask an English major somewhere to write it. I agree. He could reach out for some help, but I think he's got to put the footwork in, you know? He got to put the footwork in. You need to know how many houses, how many streets. You need to do your miles per gallon. And you also got to do, like I told him, you got to do some filler. Like you're going to sit here, put yourself on a schedule. Put in 15 minutes where you're going to sit at each entrance because that's gas you ain't got to run. Think about stuff like that. Position points. Make a fucking map. I ain't finna tell him everything. That's his damn business. But I told him, you go do all the hard work. You're not going to make her work and get that contract. She'll say, and hang up. And that'll be that. And she'll find somebody who has a pre-designed proposal. I know because I have dealt with trying to find management companies. And when you call a management company for HOA or something like that, or neighborhood association, and you say, I'm interested, they send you an email with PDFs like a motherfucker, marketing, branding, plans. That shit is worked the fuck out. They will customize it to your community, and they give you a salesperson that will sit down and do a whole PowerPoint and talk to your ass like you the only customer in the world. Okay, that's how that go. But those places are getting contracts for 20, 30, $40,000. You know, so that's how they handle it. But you got to mimic that. You need to sit her down, and you have already thought everything through. You send her a proposal, say, hey, let's do a Zoom. I want to go through this with you. Branding and marketing. You need to do that on the front end. I can't give it to him. I can't give it to him. I created a bridge. I am the bridge. But you got to do the work, brother. You got to walk through the door. And he's my age. He's not no young nigga, okay? And see, that's the problem too with nepotism. Sometimes when you have people, they always giving you something, you don't actually know how to cold approach people. Even with a bridge, you don't know how to do it. Or you haven't had to give your best foot forward. So you're not even prepared. If somebody comes before me right now and says, what does your company do? Do me a presentation, show me how I can use you. Honey, please. It will not be a problem at all. I am prepared. Okay. I'm ready to show someone what I'm capable of. Here's my look. My whole lookbook ain't nothing but a PowerPoint presentation, right? But it show you everything I got. I got my standards, the purpose of the business, how I do business. I got it all worked out. How my contracts work. You ain't got to ask no damn questions. If you got to ask any questions if I send you all this stuff, something wrong with me. Okay. It would take nothing for me to sell myself because I did the footwork. Ain't nobody gave me none. I got to earn every dollar I make. You tell y'all one of the things I do. I think I've said this before. I'm kind of cutthroat. I go to black people who have certain events. I say, hey, I see an event. I say, hey, where you get them chairs, tables, and tents? Where you get that from? Where you get who you get that from? They be thinking I'm trying to have an event. No, I'm asking because I'm selling the same shit that you got right here. And they say, oh yeah, I rent from some. Oh, you go to A1 Rentals? Oh, that's a white owned. I'm so nasty. That's a white owned company. That's a white owned company. Well, let me give you my car because I just happen to be a black owned business who does the same thing. And I got them. I got them. Every time I say that shit, I got it worked down to a science. I got the timing and everything. And I be looking them in their eye like I'm judging a little bit. I'm a black owned company. I do the same thing. I want your business. That's why I tell them, I want your business. And look at them just like that. I want your business. I give them my card. Call me. We're gonna work something out. I'm gonna outprice them. I promise you that. Call me, save some money. That's what 3 minutes. Not even three. Give me 45 seconds. I get that shit out my mouth. I make a connection. I got a new customer for life. Okay? I got a customer for life. I got so many customers like that. I will take your shit. I will take your shit. I take business from white people all the time. I've done it for cold call. I just call. I say, oh, they got a festival. I know it's probably A1, tent rentals on that shit. I can handle that festival. I said, hey, I'm a black owned business. And do you have a black owned business already serving your festival? No. Well, hey, send me the invoice and let me show you what I can do. Send me the proposal and estimate they sent you, and I'm gonna scratch that up and I'm gonna save you some money. You understand? I can do that on any given day. They better be glad I'm not serious about this business because these motherfuckers will be mad with me. You hear me? They'll be mad because I would take all of their business, all of it. But I don't want all of it because I want a garden. You understand? I want a garden. I want a garden. I want to tutor and read with my kid. So I don't get cutthroat and try to take business because you got to be able to maximize, right? You got to expand, get bigger warehouses and shit when you for real, for real. I'm over here playing games. I'm playing games. Anyway, but that's it. I need 30 seconds. I need 30 seconds to sell it. My name is so and so. I'm the owner of so and I'm a black owned female operator. I love to say that. Now, it depends on who I'm talking to. Sometimes I don't say female operated. Depending on who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to certain kind of men, I just say black owned and operated family business, you understand. But when I'm talking to a black woman, I say female owned and operated. It gets me a little different response depending on the present company, you know. That's part of marketing and branding. But anyway, yeah, so I get business doing that. Just saying I'm black and I want your money. I want to partner. You got to use those kind of words. I want to partner. I want to connect. Build a network, stuff like that. They say, oh yeah, because you don't do that with white people. We don't build networks with white people. We build and black people network. I like that. I like that. She's talking about networking. Yeah, yeah. I said I served the cabin Gwinnett in downtown Atlanta. That's it. I don't do no other places. This is my stomping ground. I saw all them people be coming from Atlanta, trying to come into the cab to make money. They over there in Cobb County and all these other places. I'm right here. I live here. I pay taxes here. If I get into a conversation, I get down to it like that. And let them know I'm local. I'm in your face. I layered these reasons why we need to do business, depending on how big the business is. So you got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to talk. You got to be willing to share and be a little more personable. Because white people are not personable. They come with a fucking estimate on a clipboard. They tell you sign this, and you sign it, and they dump your shit off. And they're like, we'll be back on so and so day to pick it up. And then you sign it when you get done. I'll inspect it. Thank you for your business. No, 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 no. Miss May May, I know how to talk to my people. Talk about networking, talk about building and community connections and partnerships and all kind of other shit. It hit different. It hit different. And I'm authentic with my shit. I'm authentic. So anyway, I've been on here a long time, just running my mouth. It says at the very least, he's okay. Yeah, he seems ignorant, probably does not understand the social game. It sounds like he is taking a blue collar approach. I like the brother. I like him a lot. He was one of the people who was on the lawsuit with me. That's how I got to know him. The I was leading the HOA, class action lawsuit, and he was one of the ones that was willing to stand up. We have a lot of women on the team because it was like 30 of us that filed this lawsuit, and he was willing to just come with it. He got heart. But maybe he needs to go to the SBA. I tell people that all the time. I went to the SBA. I'm gonna get off in a second, but I went to the SBA consistently. Anytime they got free online classes, I sign up. They got class for $50, I sign up. I've signed up for their what is it, a 6-month program. It's called Smart Business Smart Start. It's called Smart Start. I just go on the SBA and I look up what do they have. I take marketing classes. You got to go to different, institutions. Like I went to this university of something. That's where they have it. Sometimes they have it University of Georgia. These institutions will host these workshops, and I would just sign up. I would sign up, and wherever I got to drive, I drive if it's not the main building. And I got a chance to network, meet people. I had a SBA coach that she walked me through. I had her for a long time. I think I planned with her for like 4 years for my business. I bring her stuff, she give me homework, bring this back, do that. Now, what do you need me to research? She was instrumental. She helped me do my business plan. I have a business plan, a formal, real business plan. A lot of people don't have that. I know the market. She made me study the market. Who are my competition? You know, who are my direct competitors? Who are my customers? All of that shit. So I got educated through the SBA. I got my game from the SBA. I'm not a smart bitch. I'm not smart in business. I just took a whole ass load of SBA classes. That's all. My degree is in English. And then I'm kind of a hard headed asshole. So that makes me good at business, I think. That makes me good at it, effective. Because I don't like to lose. I'm very competitive. I'm very, very competitive. A little aggressive, maybe. I even tried to steal my competitors. My husband was like, "Don't do that, mate. Don't do that." I was sure gonna do it. But then the good Lord gave me an app so that I could hire my own people and what is it called? On call. I could hire people on call. So then I didn't have to go and do the wrong thing. That's wrong to steal people employees. But I was so ready to do it. They was loading that truck. I'm sorry, they had just loaded the truck and they were gassing up, and we gas up at the same fucking gas station. I see them all the time, and they had all these young black men. I was like, man, I know they paying them niggas $12 an hour. I know it, and I pay $20 an hour. I'm gonna take that shit, but I can't guarantee the hours that they guaranteed either. I ain't no Monday through Friday. I'm Friday through Sunday. I just only, for the most part, do weekend. We do weekdays too, but it ain't no real work Monday. People don't have no major events Monday through Thursday. At least not most of my customers. Anyhow, that's not true because I got school districts. They have stuff in the weekdays, but you got to have a real. I don't put my foot in my business like that. I don't want it to grow. I don't want it to be too much because I'm trying to be retired. I don't want to be on the hustle and grind. I don't want to be stressing and sweating too much. I'm trying to get a lot of money with as little effort as possible. That's what I do. And therefore I can't be chasing big contracts all the time and just taking business left and right. I can't be out here marketing like crazy because I don't want that smoke. I don't want it. If somebody came and said, "Hey, I got 15 new contracts." Nope, nope, nope. I'll take two. I'll take two. I don't want 15. Mm-mm. I don't want that. I'm trying to fucking chill. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this brother. I ain't nothing with me to do though. Yeah, he's not, I don't think he's ignorant. I just think he needs some SBA classes. I don't want to insult him by telling him I think he need to go to the SBA. I think this time, if he loses this contract for sure and he sees ambassador, that's what it's gonna take. He gonna have to see that he had all them opportunities, that she prefers somebody in the community. And he's gonna have to see another company. And I hope it won't, I'm not gonna let it be white. I'm gonna talk to her. I'm like, who that? I'll ask her, who you gonna hire? Because she gotta make a decision, right? I'm gonna make sure it ain't nobody white. We ain't finna have that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure I do. I didn't think about that. But if she ain't choosing him because he ain't do right, he gonna have to literally, ambassador, that is gonna be where he gets his lesson. He gonna get his lesson from watching another probably black man take his opportunity from him. And it's gonna be painful because when that person signs up and they're gonna get that good money for the weekend routine, I'm sure we're not gonna have weekdays. I don't think that's gonna happen. It's gonna be weekend. We're gonna have a weekend patrol. And when he sees that some other black man got that contract and that black man got a sweet contract and he ain't gonna let it go, right? He gonna probably tell her, I want a 3-year contract. Then he gonna realize he missed out. It's gonna hurt him though, because I'm sure that contract, if it's decently done, it'll be renewed. And only then will he realize, God damn, I should have did something better. Only then. What you mean? Nah, he need to go to the FBA. You mean to prepare? He need to go now to prepare to write his contract and his proposal? Is that what you mean, Ambassador? He needs to go to the FBA now, or he need to go, period? Do you mean he need to go in order to prepare for this? Is that what you mean? Tell me what you think. I mean, he's a man, you know what I'm saying? So I don't wanna overstep my bounds. I just when he told me that, I said, "Did you get the contract? What's up?" Because she mentioned it. Like at the last HOA meeting, she mentioned that we was getting security. You got the contract? I just assumed it. And he was like, nah, I didn't get to the proposal. I said, oh shit. Oh shit. I'm not gonna micromanage him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Oh, you said both? Okay. You know what I'm gonna do, Ambassador? I'm gonna pretend that you are my friend, like in real life, and I'm gonna send him a text message. I'm gonna be like, I was telling my friend about how you gonna get this contract. You hear me? And he said that you, I'm gonna put it on you. He said you should probably go to the SBA to get support to write your proposal. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that, Ambassador. I'm not gonna tell him your name or nothing like that. Ain't your real name anyway. But I'm just gonna say I was talking to my friend, and he was suggesting to me when I was telling him about you needing to get your contract. You know, maybe you should go to the SBA and they'll help you write the proposal. They will. They'll help him do it. They got coaches there. That's what I'm doing, Ambassador. I'm gonna do that. Because like I said, I don't want to overstep my bounds. I don't want to be like, you don't know nothing, nigga. You backwards. Why you ain't got, I'm not finna do none of that. I gave him my pep talk about how I cold call people. And I get bold with it. And all they can say is no. To give it your best shot. And all they can say is no. I was telling him that, but I don't know if that set in anything, if it meant anything. But anyway, I do have to cook some chicken. And what else I gotta do? I gotta cook chicken. And I have to cook some vegetables. I'm cooking cilantro lime chicken and chicken tacos. We had nachos. And I made my daughter fish tacos. I'm making tacos everywhere. Everything's all goddamn Mexican today. Anyway, I gotta go. I appreciate your thoughts, Ambassador. And I do. I want that brother to, I want him to win. I want him to win. But I hope he gets his ambition together. You know. We've been on this shit for like a year now. Come on now. Come on. But I think that's gonna be sad if she hires somebody else and it's 3 year, 5 year contract and he don't get a chance. And he gonna be pissed every time he see that patrol car ride past his house. Think about that. He'll learn his fucking lesson for real. Every time he turn around, he could like, damn, I could have been making that money. He don't even gotta work it. He got employees, you know. But I have a feeling he hasn't had to use that skill yet because he probably had been given some shit by a cousin, a friend. He's had, maybe frat brothers or somebody. When people hand you shit, you don't have to really give your best presentation. You just skip to the top of the line. That happens sometime in Atlanta. It does. It happens a lot. Your Q brother give you some shit, and you ain't never had to do a sales pitch. You ain't never had to do a presentation. You ain't never had to compete for a goddamn thing. It happens. Yep. Anyway, I'm about to go. My daughter's tutorial session starts at 5, so I gotta go. It's 4:20. I'm gonna go look in I think my collard greens are about to bolt, so I'm gonna go pick my collard greens before I do that. All right, I may take a picture of that. My collard greens. Oh, here's a comment. Ambassador says, when I deal with brothers, I tend to just give out information and resources. Brothers are sensitive and don't really want to be seen as not knowing something. Frame it as making his life easier. Okay. Frame it as making his life easier. Okay. I was like, my friend said you could just go down there real quick and they'll help you out. Man, they'll have that junk done for you in no time. Yeah, I'll do it like that. That's why I've been kind of, I'm sensitive there. I agree with you, Ambassador. And I respect the brother. Like I said, he was ride or die with me while I was, fighting the HOA on that lawsuit. He was ride or die. He was really right there. I appreciate brothers like him. And that was for 4 years. The brother was hanging on. I've only been trying to get into this contract for a year. I don't say trying to get him. I introduced the idea that it was a possibility. And I told him he could take it on if he want to. And he was interested, but he just not following through. Not fully. But yeah, I didn't want to micromanage dude, and I didn't want to be like, let me write it for you. I didn't want to do none of that. I agree with you. Just drop the information and let people do what they're gonna do with it. I agree. But I think you're right. That the yeah, go to SBA, it'll be easier. I think that's a good way to say it. And I'll just shoot him the link to SBA too. It's just right here. It's not. It's in DeKalb County. It ain't far. Where the coaches are, the SBA coaches. It's it's a whole building. They just waiting to help you. I need to go get my ass some more coaching. I ain't been to an SBA meeting in so long. The last one I did was marketing, and it was so focused on the trend at that time, and technology has changed. So the books they gave me and the handouts ain't worth shit now. I have to take another marketing class. Anyway, Ashe. Appreciate y'all. Anybody who stopped through my babbling and talking shit. All right, y'all. Ashe, have a good day.